Thank you for coming to Starbright Storytime. Today's book is Pelle's New Suit, picture book by Elsa Beskow, translated by Marion Letcher Woodburn. Pelle's New Suit, picture book by Elsa Beskow, translated by Marion Letcher Woodburn. There was once a little Swedish boy whose name was Pelle. Now Pelle had a lamb, which was all his own, and which he took care of all himself. The lamb grew, and Pelle grew, and the lamb's wool grew longer and longer, but Pelle's coat only grew shorter. One day Pelle took a pair of shears and cut off all the lamb's wool. Then he took the wool to his grandmother and said, "Granny dear, please card this wool for me." "That I will do, my dear," said his grandmother, "if you will pull the weeds in my carrot patch for me." So Pelle pulled the weeds in Granny's carrot patch, and Granny carded Pelle's wool. Then Pelle went to his other grandmother and said, "Grandmother dear, please spin this wool into yarn for me." "That I will gladly do, my dear," said his grandmother, "if while I am spinning it, you will tend my cows for me." And so Pelle tended grandmother's cows, and grandmother spun Pelle's yarn. Then Pelle went to a neighbor who was a painter and asked him for some paint with which to color his yarn. "What a silly little boy you are," laughed the painter. "My paint is not what you want to color your wool, but if you will row over to the store to get a bottle of turpentine for me, you may buy yourself some dye out of the change from the shilling." So Pelle rowed over to the store and bought a bottle of turpentine for the painter, and bought for himself a large sack of blue dye out of the change from the shilling. Then he dyed his wool himself until it was all blue. And then Pelle went to his mother and said, "Mother dear, please weave this yarn into cloth for me." "That I will gladly do," said his mother, "if you will take care of your little sister for me." So Pelle took good care of his little sister, and mother wove the wool into cloth. Then Pelle went to the tailor. "Dear Mr. Tailor, please make a suit for me out of this cloth." "Is that what you want, you little rascal?" said the tailor. "Indeed I will, if you will rake my hay and bring in my wood and feed my pigs for me." So Pelle raked the tailor's hay and fed his pigs. And then he carried in all the wood, and the tailor had Pelle's suit ready that very Saturday evening. And on Sunday morning, Pelle put on his new suit and went to his lamb and said, "Thank you very much for my new suit, little lamb." "Bah!" said the lamb, and it sounded almost as if the lamb were laughing. This has been Pelle's New Suit, picture book by Elsa Beskow, translated by Marion Letcher Woodburn, printed by Harper and Brothers, New York and London. Thank you for coming to Starbright Storytime.